Hey guys, my name's Jacob. I'm here with the CryptoHub, and it's been a few weeks, so let's go ahead and kind of get caught back up. That way we can keep going. So last time we talked, the market was sitting around $700 billion. Since then, we've had a little bit of... We had a pretty hard correction here. We've had a pretty slow recovery in terms of cryptos. So we peaked... I'm just going to refresh the page. So we had peaked at 819, and last time we talked it was at 700. So we had just had a little slide, but we pulled back up and it tanked again all the way down to $450 billion. So that was a pretty big slide again from our all-time high of like 830. And today we're sitting around 570. There's a lot of FUD going on in the market that South Korea was shutting things down and all of it was dispelled. There's even a lawsuit against someone that worked in the South Korean government for creating it. On top of that, there have just been a lot of interesting developments with the Bitcoin futures contracts where a lot of people are shorting it, and so there's a lot of market manipulation behind the scenes. But the market still has a lot of room to grow, especially when we back up year over year to see where we were this time last year. I think we're gonna be okay. Bitcoin, again, followed it where it tanked, and it's actually really struggled to recover. Last time we were at a high was about 17.5. Like within the last month, the last time we were doing really well with Bitcoin was about 17.5. And it's interesting because, again, when we look back over the course of the year, we're doing fine. But it's interesting to see Bitcoin struggle this much. And yet the market has, Bitcoin's sitting back out here where it was, 2 months ago, and the market's still fine. Ethereum has actually been really interesting here as its Bitcoin comparative has actually risen despite the market's woes. It tanked really hard even for a moment, all the way down to 785, and then again it recovered just like everything else, and it's actually done a lot better in terms of USD than Bitcoin has. We're actually seeing 0.105 on a Bitcoin comparative, which is incredibly high. Again, guys, when we back out on the year, we see how much of an insane rise Ethereum has done. And though its Bitcoin comparative is nothing to what it was up here, it's still doing really, really, really well. And it just makes me excited because I believe in Ethereum so much. So remembering that pretty much everything has taken 2 major hits in the last month and a half or so, it's interesting to see things bounce back. Bitcoin's bounced back. Ethereum has done super well. Ripple, after just having a ridiculous, unnecessarily high highs, it's come back down and then recovered a little bit. Bitcoin Cash, same kind of thing, where it's had a ridiculous run up, came back down again, and is now recovering. We see NEO as a big winner here in the last 7 days, because again, you were wanting to beat this right here. If you beat the 6% rise of Bitcoin's price, you're making money in the long term. And if you're holding NEO, you did that. If you're holding Stellar, you're doing that. If you're holding Ethereum, you're doing that. Though I still think we have a lot of room to grow in Bitcoin's price. I think my personal prediction was like 40K by the end of the year, maybe a little bit more, because I think Bitcoin dominance will probably sit at 25% at the end of this year. But again, that's my personal opinion, not financial advice. But again, my favorite project of everything up here is ICON, and that has done a little bit worse than Ether, but fairly well. Look out for the big announcement they have on the 31st. I don't want to say any more, but I think it'll be really good for the price action of ICON. But the only worrying thing I wanted to address today was Tether. You can do your own research on it. It's just a project that I haven't really touched and will continue to keep distance from. And I think it might have some negative effects on the market when the $2 billion of it ends up maybe disappearing. Who knows what happens. Steam is another one that's done really well. My friend actually wanted me to get in on Steam, and I totally didn't even think about it. BitShares has done another one in the last 7 days. Walton Chain just had a really big announcement, and I'm assuming that's why they're doing so well over the last 7 days. Our chain, Ian Bellino was a big fan of this guy, early investor. Don't even know this one, but it's had a great 7 last days. But it's interesting because a lot of these tokens have had just remarkable last 7 days after, again, a pretty big hit with slow recovery. Again, guys, I still think the market hits $3 trillion by the end of the year. I think we can easily do that. We're gonna have corrections, we're gonna have downtimes, but just stick on out and hold. It'll be great, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna try to get back on the boat and start pumping out new videos. Thank you so much. Bye.